Video. Peace, world. How's everybody doing? So, just wanted to go live this morning. Typically, for those who know me, know Sunday mornings are typically what's called my uh, Sunday self care. So, I do uh, Aztec clay face mask um, to really help my skin and take the stress out of my face. So, if you never giving yourself a clay mask, um, facial. Like I highly recommend that. And I'm streaming right now on Instagram as well as my personal profile on Facebook, as well as Memphism page on Facebook, as well as Holistic Consciousness on YouTube. So if you are seeing the Holistic Consciousness background on Facebook, Memphism page, this is my other brand, Holistic Consciousness. Don't grind, align to all that elevates your unique mind, body, and spirit. And if you're on Instagram, I'm looking at the screen on my laptop as opposed to looking to you guys, but I want to share this on Instagram as well. So yeah, the topic for today, and also another thing, if you are watching this on YouTube from Holistic Consciousness, be on the lookout for my podcast, Holistic Consciousness, where I will be interviewing people who are experts in the areas of the mind, body, and spirit, and taking you all inside my personal journey with aligning to everything that elevates my personal unique mind, body, and spirit, so that I could live full time and align to everything as opposed to grinding and just working jobs that I find no satisfaction or fulfillment from, and living for the weekend or the weekend or the weekending, and being the statistic of one of those people who have been weakened by the weekend and they die on Monday morning. So yes, for those of you who did not know that, more people die on Monday morning than at any other time during the week. So when you look at the English language, which is something we're about to go into, the phonetics, the tonality, uh, the hidden and intentional aberrations within the language that cause us to resonate with things that lead to our personal demise. So something I feel that personally needs to be addressed, understanding universal law, understanding natural laws, understanding frequency, vibrations, and tones. It's something that we all need to be aware of and acknowledge if we are going to successfully navigate the present and the future of this world. So yes, if you are on YouTube from Holistic Consciousness, be on the lookout for my podcast. Also be on the lookout for Holistic Consciousness, my meditation album. Just did my Sunday morning ritual, as I said, and came up with some amazing ideas that I'm going to incorporate into my meditation album. And I'm extremely excited to go into my closet studio and do some other things outside the closet studio that's going to be on the album to bring to the world. And yeah, just extremely excited about that. And before I forget as well, want to give credit to where credit is due, to ABS Tribe, Access Before Splurging Tribe. If you would like to know more about the Access Before Splurging Tribe, ABS Tribe, let me know. If you would like to know more about BWO, Black World Order, let me know. But this isn't about those two things specifically. But definitely, if you are a man or a young man who's in BWO or ABS, you need to join the Lions Den. I was in my first Lions Den call last night. It's every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. And the level of vibes from just sharing that level of connection with other like-minded men who are striving to be the best version of themselves, like it was surreal. It was magical. It was everything that I've been needing, you know, as far as other men. Like I tend to be a lone wolf, keep to myself. But we all need brotherhood, true brotherhood that's going to be there. And I feel definitely the Lions Den is that I've been looking for and needing and absent in my life. So if you are a member of ABS or BWO, definitely join the Lions Den. every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. And there's a private Facebook group only for members as well. So look for the Lions Den. You can, if you're in the ABS Tribe group on Facebook, just ask about the Lions Den or search Lions Den in the group. That way you're not just posting and asking. Because if you actually search for it in the group, you'll see in Preds where it's popped up and it's in blue. So you just click on what's in blue and request to join the group. So yeah, it was so impactful. And just a moment of complete transparency. Like as a result of that call, I reached out to my most recent ex, and I'm apologized for not being the capacity of the man that I thought myself to be in a relationship. Of course, she wasn't the woman as well, but that still does not negate my role in the situation and my not being the capacity of the man that I am capable of being. So yeah, just understanding, and all that goes back to unresolved trauma and things that we all need to be aware of, that we need to work through. I saw a post this morning, can't remember the exact wording, but it was basically saying that if we don't deal with our unresolved traumas, our relationships will. So everybody needs to be aware of that. Like we get in that, there's a culture of throwing people away. And if you're honest with yourself, that shit is painful. That shit is painful, throwing people away. Like we didn't come to this planet or come to this life to throw people away without actually acknowledging and getting to the root of our real problems. And our real problems start with self. It's nobody else. It starts with self, 1,000%. You know, and anybody who wants to play victim, you can have that. But at the end of the day, it's about self-accountability and self-awareness. Each cell or self has the responsibility to take care of self. So when we get that through, like we can have a healthy body, as in, you know, humanity on this planet. You know, when each one of us, self or cell, takes care of self, we would have a healthy body. So the sooner we get that through our skulls and get all of these aberrations and engrams and energies out of our systems, like the better. So yeah, thank you to ABS Tribe, BWO, Lions Den. That call last night was absolutely amazing and powerful. But yeah, I just want to go into a few years ago, I was in a extremely toxic situation that I put myself in. It's about like 8-9 years ago. And as a result of that very toxic situation that I put myself in, with what had the potential to be a romantic partner, thankfully it never got to that point where we actually had sex, thankfully. But energetically, this person had became a part of my heart center. So as a result of that, like I carried a lot of self condemning energy, to where I silenced myself when it came to certain aspects of my I am, and like the foundation of my personal I am was the Om chant. So if you don't know what the Om chant is, you know, in Buddhism or any other cultures, there's a chant where you just and that's probably wasn't my best one because I'm hearing myself different with the headphones on, but I think you get the point. I kind of silenced myself as far as me tapping deeply into my I am when it came to the Om chant. And as a result, what's up, 11 Hertz? So I'm on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. That's why I'm looking down. So I kind of silenced myself when it came to my I am in the Om chant. And that kind of created a lot of stagnant energy, a lot of regret, resentment. My creativity was stunted, you know. And as a result of that call last night and a lot of things that I'm really diving further in and processing and releasing, Like I feel like this morning, during my Sunday self-care session, I really allowed myself to tap into my I am as it pertains to the Om chat, and just had some breakthroughs as far as directions and things that I need to be doing, and things that I feel I want to present to other men that I know. But I want to share this publicly with everybody in relation to tonality and vibrations, and the English language being the most remedial, pathetic language that we could possibly be speaking, and how this language is shaping and creating our reality. So yeah, want to dive into one language that I came across that I personally am going to investigate. I've downloaded an app to start learning this language, and what provoked me to get into this language. I have been seeing this language for a few years now, probably over 10 years, and I was always fascinated with certain aspects of Ethiopia, certain aspects of Arabic, Amharic, all of those tone heavy languages where you use the full expression of your vocal cords in your throat. I was always enamored and drawn to those languages for whatever reason. As a result, I feel like me opening myself up and expressing all of these mantras and chants. So came across something about Ethiopian mysticism and was never able to connect the pieces. But I always remembered the characters of this particular language. And I never knew what the language was. I, for whatever reason, did never go into detail to really learn about that language. But the language that it was Ge'ez. And I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Ge'ez, but it's Geez. It's an Ethiopian language. And I recently saw a YouTube video by a brother by the name of Ras Ben. And Ras Ben has this book. It's not going to show up too well on this screen, but it's called 5G Wellness 101. 5G Wellness 101 for my Instagram followers. So this book, 5G Wellness 101, on the surface, it's talking about 5G. But for those who have the eyes, the heart, the ears, the genetic memory, like they know it's talking about something more profound and deeper than just protecting yourself from 5G. But it's interesting how we create these scenarios within this reality that we live in, so that we can awaken other things and aspects within ourselves that have nothing to do with this supposed threat of 5G. But I'll just leave that alone. For those who want to investigate this book and really tap into what it's really about, check it out. 5G Wellness 101 by Ras Ben. That's RASBEN. And I think that's his Instagram handle as well, Ras Ben. But not specifically just about this book. I want to talk about, he has a YouTube video. And his YouTube video is entitled Heavens Are Open. Heavens Are Open. And in this video, he breaks down the language of Ge'ez. That's not all he does in this video. So I'm not going to spill the beans and talk about everything that he goes into. Like, once again, those with eyes to see and ears to hear and hearts to receive, and DNA to have a memory of, they will get the gist of what he's really diving into in this video. So if you would like to dive further into that, check out his video by Ras Ben called Heavens Are Open. If you can't find it, just send me a message. I'll send it to you. No problem. But he talks about the language of Ge'ez and why is language so important? What is language? Like, it is vibration. Like, we are energetically communicating things, thoughts, with every letter, with every utterance that we put out. Like, I'm not a religious person at all, but I understand principles. I understand universal law. I understand natural law. And I'm a firm believer of the word. In the beginning was the word. So when we really start thinking about that and acknowledging that the English language only has 26 alphabet, And the grand scheme of languages, that is remedial. That is remedial. So now just think about, if English is the dominant language on the planet, like what type of world are we creating? Uh, in my opinion, from my personal research, we are creating a world of aberrations. So the definition of aberrations, you can find this on Google. Definition of aberrations is a departure from what is normal, usual, or expected. Typically, one that is unwelcome. A departure from what is normal, usual, or expected. Typically, one that is unwelcome. So, unwelcome. I think we all know what unwelcome means. Like something being done forcibly, something unpleasant coming upon us. Unwelcome. You do with that what you will. So if you look at the English language, like I spoke about earlier in this video, the very word or phonetics of weekend, like we are weakened by the weekend. All of us living for the weekend, getting weakened by the weekend. And people can say that's, oh man, that's silly and da da da. But those are people who don't understand tones and vibrations and how tonality literally affects the structure of water. Tonality and frequency literally affects the structure of sand if you were to place it on a vibrating surface. So when you understand that, like, it matters, it cannot be negated. It's a law. These frequencies and vibrations correlate to certain algorithms and numbers that are absolute. They don't change. So when they correlate to these certain numbers, they have a certain effect or impact. We cannot escape that. So people who think it's just metaphysical mumbo jumbo and all of this, nah, like it's deeply rooted in science and math. So when you really get that through your head and escape all of the aberrations that people like to try to create, or smoke and mirrors or veils and illusions, like just get to the root of what's going on. So yeah, what makes this language so special, in my opinion, and listen to the brother Ross Ben's video, Heavens Are Open, is that it has 26 root letters, but each letter has 7 different ways to be vocalized. 7 different ways for each letter to be vocalized, which brings it to 182 letters, or Fadal or Fidel, as it is called in DEs. Each one of those is called a Fidel or Fadal, and not necessarily an alphabet. So what else makes this language so special, in my opinion? It correlates to universal and natural laws. The English language is just what's called a phonographic language. Then you have languages that are what's called numerographic. Then you have languages that are ideographic, like the ancient Egyptians. The Medu Neter was an ideographic language. So the amazing thing about the language of Ge'ez is that it is all 3. It is all 3 combined. It is phonographic, numerographic, and ideographic. And if you watch the video from Ross Ben, it is also 2 more. So it is 5 different levels of correspondence, 5 different levels of synchronicity that are encoded into this language. Now, just think about that. This language has 5 different corresponding levels that correspond to nature, that correspond to universal law, that are encoded within this language. I would say that is the language I need to be learning, point blank, period. So, like I said, recently, probably like a month and a half ago, I reached out to a brother on Facebook, and I know he was very deep into mysticism, Sufi mysticism, if I'm not mistaken. That's something that has come across my path as well on my spiritual journey. And I asked him about this language, and he connected me with another brother who told me what app to download. So after my conversation powerful conversation and vibes with the brothers last night. It's like I feel like that's needs to be something that's on my plate immediately to actively start learning Ge'ez, because it is a language that can help us, in my opinion, to create the world that we desire to create, free of the aberrations, free of the aberrations that are encoded in this remedial language of English, this remedial language of English that is bringing us unwelcome, unexpected departures from the norm that none of us even desire, but we are unconsciously co-creating a world that we don't desire to live in, because we don't understand, we haven't afforded ourselves the opportunity to understand the power of vibrations, the power of frequencies, the power of tonality, and how all of these things affect our cells. Are always eavesdropping. Our DNA is eavesdropping. I had a thought a few weeks ago about just the expression or the idea or the audacity that someone would call any part of our DNA junk. This stuff. This. If you can't see it on Instagram, I have a background of holistic consciousness with the DNA strands. But and I know you can't see it, you're seeing the green screen. But yeah. The very idea that somebody would come up with the term junk DNA. Just think about that for a second. What is junk? How do you view junk? What do you do with junk? Like some people hoard junk, but most of us do what with junk? We throw it away. So what is the subconscious impact of you believing in junk DNA? What is the subconscious impact of you saying that word or attaching junk to that? Like, what is the impact? Like, all of these things that happen are not coincidence. Like, and the very idea and level of arrogance that somebody must possess, or level of flawed thinking that somebody must possess to even label any aspect of our being as junk, is absolute insanity. We are living in a psych ward. Like, it's absolutely insane when you really take out the time to think about how absolutely crazy it is that the idea would even be formed in anybody's mind that any aspect of ourselves is junk. So that's pretty much all I had this morning. I'm grateful for, once again, like I said, the Lions Den of the ABS Tribe and brothers in BWO. If you are a man, young man, it is in your best interest to join the Lions Den. We have a call every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Tap in, tune in, get the healing circle, accountability circle that you need, that all men need. And yeah, like I said, appreciate you all for tuning in. Get back into the rest of my self-care Sundays and taking some notes on what I'm going to execute on for my meditation album for holistic consciousness. Once again, I appreciate everybody who participated in my poll, where I asked people what they would desire to see from me the most. And the meditation album was number one on the list. So I appreciate everybody who participated in that. And I'm coming up with some amazing ideas, and some amazing energy that I'm going to tap into to present to the world. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for Holistic Consciousness, the podcast. It will be dropping March 21st. So be on the lookout for that. Holistic Consciousness, don't grind, align. Align to all that elevates your unique mind, body, and spirit. Holistic Consciousness. Also, for those of you who are watching me on the Memphism Facebook page, Memphism Belief in Us Through Action, we have a artist showcase called Lyrical Exercise that is live every second Monday at 6:30 Central Time on Facebook. My personal profile, Duran Jackson, is also live on Facebook, Memphism, Memphism, and it's also live on YouTube, Memphism, Memphism, Memphis and belief in us to action. Artist showcase. We have MCs. We have spoken word artists. We have musicians, vocalists. I'm looking for visual artists who may want to paint or draw live and have their camera up and produce some work within something that can be produced within an hour and 30 minutes. So start from the beginning and go all the way through, and we'll just watch your progress as we do our spoken word, as we do our hip hop, as we do our vocals. So if you are a visual artist and that's something you would be interested in, every second Tuesday, every second Monday at 6:30 p.m. Looking for one artist every month. So not necessarily have the same person every month, because I'm not looking to perform every month, and I'm not looking to have the same artist every month. We might even start doing a feature where we have one poet or one artist who does more material than everybody else. So just be on the lookout for that. Lyrical Exercise live on Facebook and YouTube every second Monday of the month at 6:30 Central Time. So I think that is all of my announcements. Hope y'all have a great, fantastic day. And just understand, like, it's time for us to be intentional about the vibrations, about our language, about our self-talk, because our cells are eavesdropping. The water in our body is eavesdropping. The universe is listening, as my brother Jay Electronica says. So just understanding that and tapping into our I am. We are the creator. We are all co-creating. So when we acknowledge that, we can empower ourselves and beat these non-biological entities and low vibrational entities that want to see a horrific outcome on this planet. So that's my message for the morning. I would not have been able to complete my day without going live. I know this is my self-care Sundays, but I had to bring this message to you all. So if you are just catching the end of this, go back and watch it. It'll be on Facebook, YouTube, and my personal Facebook profile. And y'all have a great day. Peace.